I would love to go right into the meaty kind of questions. I mean,
Sure.
Play the utopian, who's kind of the most powerful man on earth. And I was asking myself, when you play a character like that, do you ever think about having the possibility of endless power and endless possibilities actually? And how did that make you feel, maybe thinking about?
You know, I think a lot of this show sort of hinges on that very question. You know, if you have all of these powers and if you have all these abilities, can you really affect change? And can you really make a difference? And I believe that he believes he can. And I believe that he does feel like they have, but he's starting to question that. And he does have the ability to do more than anybody else. He can fly, he can shoot laser beams, he can, you know, he can see, you know, you could probably see Rammstein from your house if you wanted to, or at least hear what he's talking about. But what he can't do is connect with his daughter. So he is as powerful as he is, he's powerless when it comes to some of these basic human things that we all sort of deal with. And that's what I think makes this show so interesting is there's this human perspective on it, which I haven't seen. These guys bleed and they die and they bruise and they feel like humans. And so I think that that's what really there are consequences to their actions and all that stuff. I think makes this relatable show in a lot of ways.
I mean, there are questions asked if he should be more progressive and maybe more open to the challenges of the new world. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I think in order to, you know, survive, you have to evolve. It's basic Darwinism. This is a guy who's very rigid in his beliefs, and I can relate to that in some ways. I'm very rigid in mine, but also I'm willing to listen and change and evolve. And I think that he realizes he needs to do that, but at the same time, I think he understands that there are going to be real consequences if we start changing this code. It's a very slippery slope. And I don't think that that everybody else agrees with that. And maybe he knows some stuff that other people don't, but he definitely needs to start listening. And that's why he's seeking counseling. I mean, when's the last time you saw a superhero go seek a therapist to talk about his feelings? You know, I love that. I love that.
There's also the talk between the sort of black and white superhero stuff that happened in their past that was quite cut out, clear, but now there's like, you see superheroes having sort of problems, struggles, thinking about morality in a way that hasn't been there before, like in superhero adaptations as well. What do you think about that? I mean, is that something that you also enjoy fleshing out in your character as well?
Well, that's really the reason I did this, is because I loved the human side of this. I loved the family drama more than anything else in this show. I loved the fact that we start in the 30s and we end up and we go back and forth between current time and then, and we get to see how they've been affected by having these abilities, and how the origin story of how they got there in the first place. All of that stuff to me was so fascinating. I love, to me, this stuff, what really makes this show great is the nuance of the family and the struggles, the human struggle that they all have, because I think that's relatable on so many levels. I mean, any guy with a 20-year-old daughter, a teenage daughter, or a 20-something son will relate to this, because he's dealing with the same things that normal people would probably deal with, although maybe on a slightly bigger scale because they have these abilities. But you know, the human side of it, just it all dilutes down to the same thing. You know, you got to be present, you got to show your kids love, and you have to connect with them, and you have to be able to do that. And if you can't, you're going to lose them.
Well, thank you so much for the quick talk, Josh, and well, good luck with the show, of course, and stay safe.
Thank you so much. You too.